Click Stuff is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at luckydicecafe.com.
Welcome to Click Stuff.
Hey everybody, welcome to Click Stuff today. This is your host, Daniel Powell speaking. Would like to send everyone a reminder that we are brought to you by trollandtoad.com, where coupon code ClickStuff can get you 5% off your HeroClix purchases. We also have a current contest going on our Facebook page, facebook.com/ClickStuff with Troll and Toad for $50 of web credit. And we also have an additional contest continually going on for our patron giveaways on a monthly giveaway. That is patreon.com/clickstuff. We appreciate all of our supporters. We appreciate all of our listeners. We all love you guys. And tonight, joining me is Jason Concrud Alvey.
Hi.
And David Man Bun Gosselman is back.
I got a man bun for Man Gog.
That's about the best way to do it.
So it's like David's second appearance this year.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, second time.
Is it
David.
really
Is that
only
right?
my second?
I think so. Hopefully the first of many more this year.
Hopefully.
I walked back
David
into the
says he's
pool of
ready.
HeroClix.
David says he's ready to jump back in.
I did. Both.
He even did so well he got him a Kobik at Gencon.
Do it. Just rip that Band-Aid off and just get in there, Dave.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. So today we're going to talk about our Gencon experience a little bit. And just go over kind of the fun and saneness that we had at Gencon. We got some questions about this, so I want to revisit Q secondly, and then answer listener questions third. So, and I want to talk a little bit about the regional when we get there, and that kind of stuff. So, let's just set us up for Gen Con. I think the title for the Gen Con trip could be 7 Dudes, 1 Room.
Yeah, I think it could. 7 dudes, tiny room.
Well, you know what? It actually wasn't technically a tiny room.
No, but it felt that way.
It did feel that way. So there was 4 of us. We did get so we had a pretty sweet hotel. We had 2 queen beds, and then we had an extra room with a couch and a vanity with a sink and a refrigerator and another table. So we ended up with 4 guys in the beds, and then 2 air mattresses, and Dave slept on the couch.
Yep.
So
I've slept with a world champion now. Who else can?
Sam.
I mean, Sam can.
I said just her. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've slept with Lane
Have I slept
before.
with Dan?
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I
Now
mean,
I don't
Dan gets
feel.
around.
Yeah,
Now
I
I
mean,
don't feel so special.
yeah, I mean, I've slept with Lane. It feels like I slept with someone else. I took a nap
He
with.
doesn't even know who he's sleeping with.
I took a nap with PJ.
He sounds like he's getting around a little bit. I don't feel so
Yeah.
special now.
Yeah,
Dan,
you
you're
probably.
developing quite a reputation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daniel Manwhore pal.
Pretty much. I'm trying to think. I can't remember. I don't think I've actually slept in the bed with anyone else. I slept in the same room with a lot of different people at this point. But I think in the bed, that's the sum total of it. But no, I mean we all fit.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
So
was,
I mean, it wasn't easy. It was kind of like putting together a Jenga set with a Lego set.
What few hours we slept, I slept pretty good.
Yeah, the bed was nice, and the hotel was really nice. It was an Embassy Suites out in Plainfield. So for those that know, Gencon has a pretty tight reins on all of the housing block. Well, this one was outside of the block, and it was just built in March of this year. So it was nice and new, and they made omelets for you every morning.
They had an
free
amazing
drinks from
free
5:30
breakfast.
to 7:30.
Yeah, they had free booze, free breakfast, free omelets. They I don't know, they make pancakes for you guys.
We didn't get any,
but we didn't
they
ask.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because I got they were making pancakes on Sunday, and I didn't notice that before.
I was too busy eating all the sausage and bacon and eggs and potatoes they had.
Man, I had an omelet every day. It was awesome. I got up Monday morning and I was sad because I didn't have an omelet to go to.
Me too.
I got like the ham, sausage, bacon, red peppers, mushrooms, spinach. It was good.
Yeah. And the guy cooked it too. It wasn't like make your own either. Like the guy actually made it for you.
It was good stuff.
Yeah.
I'd definitely go back.
Yeah, I think we'll probably try to get there again if we can't get a downtown room next year. But, no, I mean, we all made it up. Let's see, we experienced for the first time someone forgetting their badge.
Poor Zach.
Yeah, poor Zach had to drive halfway back home. Luckily, we aren't too far away from Gen Con. And his wife was able to meet him halfway. And but that was exciting. Let's see. So Wednesday we got up there. We raided all of the comic book stores for all of them, for all of their hero clicks.
I yelled nerd at people downtown outside from Jason's car.
Yes, he did. First thing Wednesday morning.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know, man. I just saw this guy, like, walking down the road next to the con, and I just, like, for some reason, like, it wasn't a thought. It was just, like, an urge, and it had to be met. I just rolled down the window. I was like, nerd! So, yeah.
I may have screamed like a girl when I opened a single booster of Black Panther and pulled an Ultra Chase Thanos.
Yeah, so if anyone sees Jason selling the Ultra Chase Thanos, do not buy it from him. He's not allowed to sell it.
I have not tried to sell it. It's safely tucked away in my box.
Yeah, as it should be. So, let's see. What did I get? I got a. I don't think I got anything Wednesday because you got the Chase Donna Troy. I bought a brick and only got a Prime Panther.
Yeah, I bought that Star Trek Gravity Feed, what was left, and pulled Chase Riker and Superman Picard.
Yeah. So.
In my defense, I said that Wonder Woman stuff had a chase in it.
It did.
It wasn't the chase I wanted you to get.
Right.
Yeah,
no kidding.
Dave thought of all the boosters in all of the world that the mistaken mass market Gravity Feed was going to be at this one store. So he was close, but no cigar.
Right. But you would have crapped your pants if you had pulled that in the Ultra Chase in one day.
No kidding.
You better go buy a lottery ticket and don't go out whenever there's lightning.
Yeah, I think I would have been more excited to pull the Wonder Woman.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because you can actually go buy the Ultra Chase. You can't just go buy the Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Very true.
So.
I definitely would have sold that Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Let's see. So we got checked into our hotel on Wednesday. Nothing terribly exciting. We went downtown, played some games. Jeremy and Corey got us to try to play this terrible game. And
All hail Death Cup.
Yeah, Death Cup was not a fun game.
It was a death of the fun I was having that night.
I think it was just like poorly explained and poorly conceived and just all around poor, you know?
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, like he was just like, go roll these things and throw quarters in this cup. And I'm like, okay. I either rolled the best the game could have or the worst the game could have. They didn't explain which, so.
I learned I suck at flipping quarters. Or bouncing quarters into cups. Man, that's hard stuff.
Yeah, don't go back to college.
I never did that in college, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't go back and try to be the old man on campus because they'll drink you under the table, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
So, but then let's see. So, I don't know. Do we want to go day by day, or our favorite experiences on each day, or kind of our favorite thing from each day?
I don't know. Whatever. I mean, not everything was totally exciting to hear. Yeah,
right,
day by day.
Just like the stuff that's like interesting, you know.
Okay. Well, go ahead and start us out with your Thursday then, Dave.
Oh God, I think I did a Winnamap Thursday morning, didn't I?
You did?
My first jump back into competitive play. Lexington.
What did you say, Dave?
Lexington.
No, you haven't played. You didn't play in Lexington.
No, not their last one. The one before that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I think they've had like 2 things in Lexington. I think it was very early this year.
It was states.
Was it? I don't think it was states either, bud.
Okay, maybe it was before. Maybe it was on before states. That's what it was.
I think it was before states. Yeah. So. Lockjaw, Mudman, and Groot, and had like the symbiote on it. Some IDs like.
You had the Remaker ring.
No, I didn't have enough points for the Remaker ring, so I used a symbiote.
Oh, okay.
But I used like Gene student, Cyclops student, and 2 Wolverine IDs. And I did okay. I played against Vulture for the first time. That was pretty interesting. I still had Uni on the map. I played against Emily, but she killed Jean, so whenever time came up, she ended up winning because her damn Unseen was rolling out of everything. Even whenever I hit the precision strike, you know, it's just like, well, he still gets the 5/6, so that was kind of annoying. Yeah, so I played Adam Friedman as well, and he played like Starro, Q Prime, Groot, and some other stuff. I think he added Unseen as well, and a Flora. And then, let's see, I played Lucas, and he was playing a Cosmic team that was pretty interesting. And I had a chance to one-shot his collector, but one of the other 3 pieces on my team needed to kill a freaking seal. And either I missed the seal or the seal evaded, so I didn't get that big chance to like one-shot the collector before he got going, and I ended up losing that one too. So I got Mangog. That was pretty cool.
But not so bad for your first, and not really unexpected for your first time back out.
Yeah, exactly. I just played something safe to kind of see what things were going to be like, you know what I mean? And I was actually quite surprised to see that I haven't really lost a whole lot. I'm definitely rusty. There were basic things that I forgot. But like the overall playing the game.
Now, were you Fast Forces rusty or main set?
Probably both. That's how rusty I was. But it was definitely fun. I had a good time. I actually beat Adam's team. I lost to the other 2, but yeah, Lockjaw's still like my favorite doggo ever because I just walked up and pulse waved the whole group with him, and he killed Q, and he hit everybody else. He like knocked the Flora back down to stop click, and then the next turn he crit hit pulse wave to everybody. So I can't really complain about that.
I certainly wouldn't.
Actually, never really came up into the matchup. He never really did a whole lot. I don't think Starro was the right fit for that. I think it just slowed the team down a little bit.
Right.
I just felt like it was too slow, so I just kind of pushed the pace a little bit against it. And, yeah. But it was definitely fun to get back in, to play in. I had a good time. And then I took tickets for the rest of the day. So we went back to the hotel.
Yeah, so Dave and Kyle both volunteered for the Rock. I can't say how awesome it was to have HeroClix events at Gencon again this year, and what an exceptional job Howard and the ROC did at running those events this year on a relatively short notice. And Troll and Toad had extra prizing involved, and it was just an overall fantastic experience of Clix at Gencon this year. Now, while it may not have been a WizKids Worlds type experience, you would expect new stuff and all this other things, but Howard and the crew did a fantastic job. So,
look forward to more next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jason, what about your Thursday?
I don't think I did much of note, at least for HeroClix on Thursday. I played Nevada Royal and got second because time ran out on me before I could quite overcome the other people there. I got a Loki out of it from Black Panther. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think the rest of the time I spent in the dealer hall and then playing some Transformers.
Playing not HeroClix?
So Thursday was fairly uneventful, I think.
Right. The Popper event was Friday, right?
Yeah, Popper was Friday.
Yeah, so for me Thursday, I didn't have a win a map. Are you sure the event wasn't on Thursday? I think you were on Thursday afternoon. Yeah, because I streamed your thing before I won my win a map.
Okay, so I guess Thursday afternoons. I'm getting my days all mixed up. So Thursday night or afternoon, I played the Pauper 300 Modern Win a Map and took my plus 12 Avengers theme team of Medusas, Giant Girls, Aim Reds, and Voyager to a victory.
Yeah, it was and you faced PJ in the finals, right?
Yes, I faced PJ in the finals, and I decided to just totally catch on fire, and I rolled, I think, 10 and 11 like every attack roll I made.
Yeah.
Which was needed because he was rocking 20-21 defense all the time with his Thrill Killer Robins.
Yeah, so PJ had played the Thrill Killer Robins with the uncommon Batman, and then an Alfred. So he was giving out tokens to the Hares to kill them if they killed a Robin, but PJ had the answer to Medusas and Popper by making them roll hot, and that's exactly what Jason did was roll hot and win. So your results
that was my strategy going in, just to roll good.
Yeah, that's
rolling them 5s and 6s, baby.
I was taking Zachary's advice and just rolling them 5s and 6s, baby. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, your results may vary. Thrill Killer Robins with a 21 was still pretty formidable.
It was a good team.
Yeah, but it just couldn't withstand the hot dice. Admittedly, above average.
The Medusas are pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely above average. Quite above average. But yeah, that team was still fun to play for me. On the Medusas, 3 Medusas, a Voyager, 2 Aim Red, and 6 Giant Girls. I don't know, lots of Giant Girls.
Yeah, the Giant Girl spam is still a lot of fun. So, well, no, I mean, I'm glad you won that. All right, well, yeah, I mean, Giant Girl's still OP and Popper.
Yeah.
Still
I still
the
say, yeah.
so.
I still say she should be on the watch list with Medusa. But
You know
not
what?
everyone agrees with me.
I don't agree, because here's the thing. And I've said this on a couple of the Facebook posts. Popper is a competitive format. It's not meant to be an uncompetitive format. It's meant to be an accessible format.
Right, but if that's all, if those things are all anybody plays, I just don't think it's good for it.
But if you hadn't rolled so hot, it wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have, but
You would have lost. So, I mean, hot dice, it makes a big difference. I mean, Medusas are actually $3.65 shipped. So you can have 2 Medusas for under $10. And, 3 Medusas for $12. And then the AIM Reds are $1. Or the AIM, whatever version of the AIM guys you want to use. Now, I get that it's prevalent, but, I mean, it's the same thing as saying, cosmic keyword.
I don't look at it as like a 300-point mod. I don't look at it as the way you look at 300-point mod, and I just don't see that. I look at it as something that can play other stuff in. Yeah, no, I don't. You go look at you're looking at it the same way you look at everything else. I just don't see it that way. If I want to play something off the different, I like it because you can play some different figures, that you don't normally see. Like at their championship, they had at Origins, all anybody played was Medusa. That's it. That's like.
Well, I mean the thing is that that's all that was played at the championship. But I think you've got some really good team builders looking at the format. But it probably just needs some more. I mean, the Winna map is only going to be such a draw for a prize that you're probably not going to get a lot of diverse teams, because your top your top tier team builders aren't looking at the format that closely. I mean, we got totally a whole new format or team archetype from PJ.
Yeah, and it hasn't been explored. It has not been explored very well.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It hasn't been explored.
No, it hasn't. But I don't know. I just look at the results from that championship they had and what everybody brought, and it just, I don't know. It's pretty boring if everybody's going to play the same thing all the time.
I don't really play it because I feel like whoever has the most giant girls typically ends up winning.
We've seen that. Fair enough. We've had enough.
It's like,
Dan played that team that had all giant girls.
It's just like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do about 10 freaking giant girls.
What was that team you played, Dan? Was it all giant girls at that time?
No, I mean, it had Yellow Jacket, 2 Stasis Spider-Mans, and the Wasp from ADW that could add 5 actions. Well, I already had the leadership, so it could add 1 more action. So basically, that team was pre Medusa. But just allowed 5 giant girls to attack a turn. So that was the premise of that team that I played. Of course, now it doesn't quite have the same amount of oomph because that Wasp has retired.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that any of them are too expensive to have or anything like that, or that they actually have to be gotten rid of. I'm just saying they ought to look at it. The theme fluff that they give you is probably their strongest thing for the giant girls, really.
Yeah,
nothing else can touch it.
Yeah. No, I mean, to some extent. You still got some other low point things, and some other low point things that are coming out, especially when you get to X-Men and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, it's 10 points apiece.
Yeah, nothing in X-Men's been 10 points yet.
But I mean, like, so, like, even if you put, like, a 30-point X-Man on your team to help with theme, like, if I'm playing Avengers with Giant Girls, I'm giving 3 pieces to your 1 with the Giant Girls. Like, you put out a 50-point whatever, and it's like, I have 5 Giant Girls, I got +5 to my theme there. So, like, there's a huge advantage in getting map in it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I mean, obviously, the people who play it enjoy it. It's just not for me because I feel like I'm only playing with a certain extent of the game. And,
You are.
Right. But you know what I mean? Like, I want to play with everything. Like, I don't care if the chases are in there, if the super rares and the con LEs and all that's in there. I mean, I kind of like that it takes a little bit of everything to make a team great. Now, sometimes you do have teams that are just all chases and stuff. But, I mean, I don't know. Popper's just not for me. I'm glad there's a lot of people that like it. I'm glad it's a thing. But I think maybe if they want to make any change to it, like you said, the Medusas were fine because, like, you had to roll, like, a madman to beat those Robins, right?
Yeah, basically.
But I think, if anything, they don't, like, take Giant Girl out of the format, but maybe limit how many Giant Girls you can play on the team. That way it gives other teams that are non-themed or, like, have to pay more points for a theme the opportunity to win map as well. Because if you're never going to win map because I've got 8 Giant Girls on my team, I mean...
Yeah, I never lost map roll.
Right.
I mean, there's not enough data. Like, it needs more events and it needs more exploration for all of it before they make any kind of decisions about it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just want it to stay something that new people don't have to be afraid to dip their toe in. You know what I mean?
Right, and you don't have to break the bank to give it a shot.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm new and I want to play a modern team, you know, I'm spending hundreds of dollars, and I may not like it that much. Whereas if you want to start with Popper to see what you think of competitive clicks, you know, you're not breaking the bank to play Popper. It's like what was it that Jay said the other day? Like the map y'all were playing the championship on was more expensive than both the teams combined.
Yeah, well, that was your fault.
Apparently, it was my fault. Yeah.
I just want it to be something that people can not be scared to try out. You know what I mean? That's all I want.
Yeah, I mean, I think here's the thing: there is that you can't shield. You shouldn't be shielding people, if that makes sense. Like, because it is a competitive format. I mean, and the thing is like there's other formats out there that have ban lists and that sort of thing, and it's just not the same, right? It's if you want a format, it's got to be all out. You know, that's where you get the true competition. That's just how I feel about that. You know, if they start doing ban lists and all this other stuff, you know, my interest in it will probably drop down more.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not. I know it's not for you. You've stated you just want to do everything, and that's fine.
No, I mean, I get it. No, I like to play Popper, but you know, I just don't want all these restrictions on it.
He just wants access to like everything possible.
Yeah, I'm not saying I want a bunch of restrictions on it. I'm just saying if it becomes to the point where it's like that's all that there is, like if this one thing is just totally dominating it, maybe it needs to be looked at.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
right.
The problem is that when you start doing a ban list, is that something else just becomes better.
Nobody said anything about banning it. The word ban never came out of my mouth.
Well, limiting it or limiting the number of the ones that you can have or whatever. You know, it comes out that something else just becomes better. I mean, that's just my thought on it. And, I don't know how else to express that. It's something that is just going to become better.
Yeah, well, of course
I mean,
it does.
it could be throw killer robins, right? I mean, where you're just needing to say,
Of course it does, but it doesn't stop WizKids from watch listing things.
well, I mean, it's just going to say, okay, everybody's a 21 now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's probably fine. They'll be gone in a year anyway.
Yeah. So
Just see what happens.
I mean, the next Pauper Championship, they can go ahead and pre-retire stuff. I mean, if it's at Origins next year, retirement will be announced, and just pre-retire it and make the championship from the new stuff.
Which is probably totally fine.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, for my Thursday, I traded in a bunch of stuff to Troll and Toad, and then I ventured into the dealer hall and opened up a cube of Star Trek TNG and pulled both cues.
Nice.
So that was like getting an Ultra Chase.
Yeah, definitely.
Apparently, I sold him a day too early because he went from like $160, $170 to $300.
I don't think anybody's paid that for it yet.
Yes, that is sold listings on eBay.
Oh, is there sold on eBay? Okay.
That is sold on eBay. Yeah.
Well, they better do good with him and then sell him.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll talk a little bit more about Q later. See, was it Thursday? Was it Thursday that we went to? Did Zach and I went to Fogo de Chao, or was that Friday?
I think it was Thursday.
Yeah, that was Thursday. Zach and I went to the Brazilian steakhouse Fogo de Chao. Cannot recommend enough Brazilian steakhouse meat. None of the other guys were brave enough to join Zach and I. Or I should say, they didn't want to open up their pocketbooks enough.
Yeah, I didn't. I probably would not have felt good after it anyway.
Oh, it'd have been fine. You would have felt okay. You would have felt like you were full of meat.
Yeah, which may not have been the best feeling to have.
Well, Zach and I survived. So that was really good. Anytime you can go to a nice Brazilian steakhouse, that is totally going to be worth your money. Now let's see. Friday, Dave? Did you do anything clicks related Friday other than Judge?
No, I don't think so, man. I may have played
Friday. Wasn't Friday 2v2 day?
Yeah, it was.
Friday was 2v2 day. So we'll start out with what I did in the morning. And so I played in the 300 Modern, win a map. I played Uni, Unseen, Groot, Flora, ID cards. And I ended up winning that win a map. I had to play against Lucas and Emily and Jalen, and I went 3-0 to win out and get me another King's Tomb. So it was pretty cool. Always fun. Had a bunch of fun games, and then so 2v2. Do we want to talk about first kind of the variance in 2v2 and what Howard would talk to us about?
Sure.
So the 2v2 was essentially 3v3 like you would have at Team Nats or Team Worlds, but it was only 2v2 because of the lower expected attendance. But I still think we had, 12 teams? Maybe 15 teams?
I think we had, wasn't there 32 people? So
yeah, so we had 16
It was 16 teams.
Yeah, so it was given the circumstances, it was a good amount of turnout. So it was your standard. You pulled 4 boosters, and you built 2 300-point teams out of those. You played on, brought your maps and all that kind of stuff. But what was the twist on it, and Howard said that this was something they were potentially looking at for maybe not this year, probably not this year Worlds, but maybe Team Nats or Team Worlds next year, was the concept of a mulligan. So either right when you get your boosters the first time, or right before top cut, you get to mulligan all 4 of your boosters and get 4 new ones. So in hindsight, Jason and Dave, you guys played together. Do you wish you would have mulliganed?
No, I didn't want to spend
No,
double
I'm
the money
actually
on
not
it.
a fan of. I'm not a fan of the mulligan rule in that. To be honest with you,
So if you'd
Like, I
had
get that-
you'd had the money, would you have done it?
I did have the money. I just didn't want to spend it.
Okay, if the money wasn't any object.
We'll
I
share
think
some
that-
money,
I think it's just more of a. It used to, you know what I mean? It kind of diminishes the amount of skill you need if you just like, oh well, these aren't any good. Let's get some more, and then you pull something good, and you're like, oh okay. You know what I mean? Then maybe you buy your way into the final instead of actually like playing your way into it. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if that's the best argument against it, because that just happens with all the boosters they give out in the first place.
Well, I mean, if you pull it the first time, then okay, you got lucky. And there's been people. I guess it's okay because people have been screwed before. But I mean, I don't think we had a pretty decent pool. Like, it wasn't great, but it was something we could definitely work with.
What was your 2 teams?
They were both Avengers.
Yeah, I had Super Rare Iron Man with the Space Gem, AIM Blue, AIM Red, and 2 common Captain Marvels. And
I had Voyager, Thor, Black Panther, and an AIM guy.
the White AIM soldier.
Yeah, the white AIM. So
And the non-prime Black Panther.
yep.
So y'all had garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I mean, that's
I don't think it was bad.
the Super Iron Man's pretty garbage and sealed.
Well, I mean, I really don't know what else we were going to pull at that point. I don't know. Like, what's the end-all, be-all piece? You know what I mean? Because I played plenty of Battle Royales, and there wasn't anything that was like...
Red Skull would have been nice.
Right, but there's some... You know, I guess the only thing that would have been nice is just to pull, like, some better stuff to have after the competition was over. But, like, I don't feel like my team was weak or anything like that.
Yeah, like a Spider-Man or a Black Bolt would have been handy.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Black Bolt would have been great.
Well, considering Spider-Man is what ended up winning the whole thing.
Because he's a badass.
Yeah.
And he won
Yeah.
like, so many Battle Royales as well, so...
Mm-hmm.
I saw people pass like chase figures in Battle Royales to get Spider-Man. Like, they pulled a Chase Iron Man and they were like, here you go, here's Chase Iron Man, I'm going to take Spider-Man.
Yeah, because Spider-Man can
He's
beat Chase
stupid
Iron Man.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's silly good. In sealed.
Right.
So
So you and Corey ended up with your chef hats and pulled what?
yeah, we had chef hats. Corey, I played a +4 cosmic theme team with Gardner, Voyager, Ebony Maw, and Possessor. So essentially hot garbage. And then I forget what even Corey played.
He had a Medusa, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a Medusa and
Shield Diplomat.
yeah, Shield Diplomat. I should have took pictures of our build sheets, but it wasn't that great. But we ended up going 4 rounds, so that was 8 matches. We ended up going 7-1. And then in top 4, we were going to face the same people that we had faced before, which was the CWO guys, Trent and Stephen Clark Jr. And we decided to use our mulligan then because Trent had a Spider-Man and Steven had a Shield team. So we bought in and rebuilt. My second team was an Avengers themed team with Captain Britain, Medusa, Common, Black Widow, and something else. A Crystal. So I had like a +4 or 5 Avengers themed team, and I beat Steven pretty handily. We ended up giving Corey a Challenger and a Crystal and another two Shield Diplomats. Maybe something else small. And Corey just couldn't not die with Challenger. We came out to being... Corey just missed a Shield, an aim guy, to win us the game. Because essentially the way it worked out was... if you won one and lost one, it came down to points, and Steven was slightly underbuilt, so he had scored my Crystal, so we lost by 20 points overall from getting into the finals. So the rebuild paid off for us. I mean, at least it gave us the better chance, because we knew that if Corey had to face the Spider-Man again without any help, that we were toast. Like, we might as well just probably pack up and go again, right? Like, as soon as he hits the first attack, right, like, just say, okay, we're good. I mean, maybe he can survive the 50 minutes without, getting trounced, but it's unlikely.
I mean, yeah, we were 4-2 after 3 rounds, and we were already eliminated from the cut.
Yeah, we dropped. I made it very clear that I'm not a fan of the format.
We played two teams that were underbuilt and got screwed because of that.
Well,
both
not just
times.
that. So, because I was thinking about it, and I was telling Jason, I was like, the first round, we played Calderness and Isaac Denke, and we wiped both rounds. So we went to table 1 against PJ and Lucas. All right, so I beat PJ, and Lucas beat Jason, but I guess what it was I gave up too many points or something like that.
PJ was underbuilt. You couldn't score enough points to make up the difference.
Right, and then so Jason I gave up too many points in the matchup or something like that to where we couldn't, and then there was the underbuild to where we couldn't make up for the difference. So, we literally lost 300 to 385.
Yeah, I just missed a bunch of rolls and just got destroyed. And then, you couldn't score enough points because he didn't have any to score.
Right.
Because you wiped his team, right?
Right.
And then in the next round, we played Juggernaut.
And at this point, we were at table 4, right? Because we were technically 1-1 at that point, and we went to table 4. And then it was the opposite. I got wiped and got 0 points, and Jason wiped Jamie, but Jamie scored some points off Jason. So we literally lost by 40 or 50 points that round. Well, and it didn't matter that we were 1-1 against those two teams, which is what irritated me, because I was telling Jason, I was like, technically, even though, whenever we lost at table 1, somebody could have been at table 16 and gone 0-2 that round. Not won a single game against their opponents. And if they scored more than 300, say if they scored 200 apiece and they both lost, they would have technically done better than me and Jason did when we went 1-1 with 300. And I found that really irritating, because while our overall record when we dropped was 4-2, 4 wins, 2 losses, our overall record, as a team, they had us as a 1-2. You know what I mean?
But that's how scoring works for team nationals now. I believe.
Right, they said they were thinking about going to that. But the thing is, they have 3 people, so there's always a tiebreaker.
Right.
So
a tiebreaker other than points, you mean?
Yeah.
Right, a tiebreaker other than points. So like I was telling Jason, it didn't matter that I beat PJ that round, and it didn't matter that he... because literally somebody sitting at the bottom table could go 0-2 the same round, score 400, and they would count that as better than we did that round, even though we won a game. And I think in any format that winning a game should matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you won a game, it should count for something. But it was all about a team win and points.
Yeah, so, I mean,
individual wins meant nothing. I didn't enjoy it at all.
Right. But, I mean, at least it was just win a map prizing. And it was something different, right? I mean, you don't get innovation without trying something different, so.
Right, and that's fine. But, they said that they were thinking about trying this with WizKids. And so, I talked to a couple people, and I talked to Howard about why I didn't like the game. And this is exactly why I didn't like the format. And it was exactly what I just said. It was like, if you win, it should count for something. I would rather them score it. And I know, and what I really think it is there's no way in the win to do it. And that's why they can't score it that way.
Well, and then of course, Howard didn't have access to the special software that they use at Team Nats and Team Worlds.
Right. But, a 1-1 with 300 points should be better than a 0-2 with 400. In my opinion, because you won a game.
Right. No, I get you. I mean, they just didn't have that special software too that Norm uses to run everything.
Right.
So that special software should be part of the win.
I think
it's a format they run. They should have it in their system for everybody to access. Much like scoring battle royals should be able to be done that way as well.
But honestly, that was my only issue with the format. If they had the special software or whatever, and they ran a 2v2 at Worlds or Nationals or whatever, and it kept track of like your overall team wins, individual wins each round, and then points, I'd be okay. So like if me and Jason went 1-1 with 300 and they went 0-2 with 400, then we should still be ahead of them because we won a game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying.
People, and there might be some people who do disagree, and that's okay. Like I said, it's just my opinion. But it was fun to play.
I don't know.
Good dudes.
I don't know. We just didn't suck till top 4, so I mean, I guess my advice for you guys would be to get good scrubs.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just kidding.
It's all about the pools.
Yeah, it's all about the pools. I'm just kidding. You guys aren't scrubs.
Yeah, we might be,
Yeah, I mean, your pools, realistically, Super Rare Iron Man, your pools weren't that spectacular. I pulled Super Rare.
No, they were not.
I pulled Super Rare Iron Man in a Battle Royal, and someone knocked my other outwit piece on a Hulk, and they TK'd over their Hulk and one-shot my Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean, when I played Lucas, he had Black Bolt. I was screwed from the get-go because I had 3 pieces with Impervious. All he needed to do was just run out and I could blast my whole team.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, it's something different. I mean, it was different than playing another 300 modern event or something like that.
No,
so.
I like team events. No, I think that was the most popular event at Gencon for clicks.
For sure.
As far as attendance.
Yeah.
I think there should be more team events out there. People really seem to enjoy them.
Yeah, I mean, and to some extent, sealed is a equalizer.
But even in the constructed team events that have happened, people have been more drawn to them.
Right.
If you give me like a year's notice, like next year at Worlds, we're going to have team and constructed teams. You know what I mean? Or like next year, we're going to have a completely separate event and it's going to be all team related events. That could be fun. But I know that's not going to happen. I'm just saying, like, I would make time for that.
Right. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Well, what do we want to do? We want to talk about Friday now or Saturday? Saturday.
Saturday's the next thing, which I don't have any clicks related stuff to talk about from Saturday, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, you gave up on Saturday. So I want to talk a little bit about my matches at the regional. I ended up getting second in the regional. We played 4 rounds, top 4. So I played my Uni Unseen, Reality Gem, Remaker Ring, Nightbringer Ring, map bonus, Wolverine, Jubilee, Jean Grey, Cyclops. So round 1, I played against Jay Solomon, playing the Kobik Trader, Unseen Q Prime Groot Flora IDs. So that match came down to I beat Jay by 2 points. Jay called out too many IDs and we traded Colossals. So I don't think Jay could have gotten the points he did without trading me those ID cards. Maybe he could have. Jay was going to be on tonight to defend himself there, but so I ended up getting a low point win against Jay, and like 2 points. So it was like 1-0 with like 30 points. His Kobik rolled out. He kept his trader safe. We were on the Galador Promenade, so I didn't get overly aggressive because I maintained a point tempo throughout most of the game. And I wounded his trader so he couldn't come over and trade with me or double lock me down or anything. So I kept him at bay basically for about 25 minutes of the match. First time I'd ever got to play Jay, so it was cool to play Jay for sure. Second round I played against Jamie Jordan of Juggernaut, and he was playing 200-point Lobo with the Soul Gem, Daredevil, Groot. Daredevil he played the Venom Harness, and a Cyclops student. So in that one, round 1, I shot the Venom Harness with his Cyclops ID, and was up 7 points, 7-3. I ended up keeping Lobo on his stop click for pretty much about 3/4 of the match, but couldn't ever land a 7 on him. Removed 1 token from Daredevil. I killed his Groot. He killed my Groot. I used a Jean Grey to kill his Groot. No, I didn't kill his Groot. Uni killed his Groot. Jean Grey actually missed. So it was 26-27. And I kept my Flora alive by healing it and keeping the defense max with 2 probs because Jamie didn't have any. So I ended up taking Jamie down, sort of, 26-27. But a win's a win. So I went into round 3. I played Nate White, who was playing his Nightshade team. So it was like Nightshade, Sheriff Strange, Billy, Tri-Sentinel IDs. And he took me to the Rock Police HQ map. Admittedly, in this match, I made nearly a fatal mistake, which wouldn't happen again. I learned, that's the whole point of playing these things. I got my Uni popped, but his Tri-Sentinel missed my Groot, actually crit missed and killed his Groot. His Tri-Sentinel missed, shooting my Groot, killed his Tri-Sentinel, so my Groot was able to stay alive. I used Jubilee to energy explode his team since he had used his perplexes offensively instead of defensively, and ended up energy exploding, killing a Nightshade, damaging both Sheriff Stranges, allowing me to trigger retail with Groot. And something I never thought of before, Jubilee damaged herself twice with Mystics, and she ends up on Perplex. So pro tip, if you ever face 2 Mystics with Jubilee, she can get you another handy Perplex. So I ended up killing a Sheriff Strange, I think, that turn, and the next turn I killed the other Sheriff Strange because I'd already killed both Nightshades, And so I went from a losing situation to one turn pretty much going into a winning situation. So that was cool. Round 4, Adam Adam and I were both in, so we actually didn't play because we were both in top 4. Top 4, I played Jay again. I won map this time, and Uni survived. But his Trader and Groot, and I think all he had left was Q Prime and Kobik. But time was pretty much ran out of time. He'd used all of his IDs. I had gotten ahead on Trader, and then I managed to miss. He missed his rollouts on Unseen. So that ended up just being a points thing. I did end up losing to Adam in the finals. It was a long day. The thing didn't start till 4. So in short, I made 2 mistakes. Those things do happen. Like I said, I was glad the mistakes happened now and not in Worlds. So all the preps for Memphis. So I ended up making a mistake with Adam, and I got retailed on with Groot, and I got locked down with some Walking Woods. He got on me pretty quick, so I wasn't able to get my Remaker ring. I only had the Nightbringer ring. I missed some attack rolls. I missed some rollouts. Adam rolled, I think, 3 11s to knock Uni to a stop click. So he had some Jason Alvey dice. It happened. So I learned, definitely learned for Nats. I'm like 6 out of 7 matches against Kobik winning. So, Adam was my first loss against a Kobik. But congrats to Adam for winning for sure. I practiced against Adam, and we play together online quite a bit and talk quite a bit. So Adam's definitely a formidable foe, but a really great guy to talk clicks with and all that good stuff. So I think that was pretty much the end of our Gencon clicks adventure, right? I mean, did you guys play any on Sunday at all?
I played in the Battle Royal and got destroyed.
I think the last Battle Royal was the only Ultra Chase Thanos that was pulled all weekend. I
used up all my pull luck at the beginning.
Yeah, I saw one of the guys posting like HeroClix players and collectors that they pulled Ultra Chase Thanos at their last BR.
They did. We were sitting right behind them when they did. Man, they were excited.
Yeah.
That guy was like, woo! And then he picked it, and I was like, yeah, now all you have to do is keep him alive so you can win him. And he won. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. I expected there to be probably some more Ultra Chases to be pulled, but I guess not.
I saw all kinds of chases, just only one Ultra Chase.
Yeah, that was crazy. But it turned out to be a fantastic weekend. I was excited. I was glad to get back home. I was tired. But
yeah. It was good time. It was a good time, but it was exhausting. Yeah, I'm not as young as I used to be.
That's for sure.
This is no. Played a lot of
what?
We played a lot of Cards Against Humanity and stuff like that back at the hotel. It was a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, man, we had a great time. Boy, I was just excited. I know that match by match thing was a little boring, but I just wanted to throw out some info on that, especially with Worlds coming up. But no, Gen Con was just great. I mean, we just had such a great time with that. So let's revisit Q Prime a little bit.
So are you changing your stance on?
So I mean, here's the thing. In our match against my 2 matches against Jay, did Q Prime do anything? Yes, but did it help Jay win the game? No. So he has standard power. He has special powers and abilities, etc. Right? So he helped He helped Jay with a save roll, and he, made him crit hit on a mind control. So he did things, right? And then the one time I went to go attack him, he, rolled his die to try to match mine, and he matched it. So I was kind of okay. I mean, that was the one time I attacked him, right? So it wasn't like a mathematical thing. Now I wasn't playing any Pulse Wave either. So without pushing Uni to it, but in both our games, Uni never took a click of damage. So typically, if that's the situation, I'm not, losing at that point either. So Q was, I don't know, largely ignorable. He couldn't get based with me because I had poison on Uni, so he could always phase away, right? But he could never get into a position where maybe he could get mind controlled adjacent to Uni, because then he dies. And then if I had had a Pulse Wave, then I would have just done what Dave did and just multi-target Pulse Wave, KO'd everything, right?
Right, he's only rocking like, what, a 17 defense?
Yeah, I think so.
That's totally hittable.
Let's hope, right? So I thought he was just, man, I get it, but I mean, if you have some Pulse Wave, you should be fine. There's folks that are probably argue that, man, if you get all the way across the board to call out your Pulse Wave, well, I mean, there's teams that can get Storm or Iceman across the board and get the figure back. I mean, if you TK out with a Astronomer or something that has a sidestep, and then the Pulse Waver's going out even further, and then multi-target Pulse Waving, then it's a pretty big deal. I mean, I think that maybe you have to adjust your ID card suite to use a Pulse Waver.
Yeah. What do we have? Storm, Banshee.
Yeah, Storm, Banshee, Iceman.
And we have Asgardian Storm Afterworld.
Yeah, so I mean, but really the big thing that people are going to be thinking about, I think, is Worlds itself. Not so much post Worlds. At least that's what I keep telling myself. I am totally all thinking about Worlds.
No, I get it. I just don't. Without the rarity factor, I don't think he'd be hitting the kind of money he's hitting right now.
No, I mean, if he wasn't, if they didn't do the gravity feeds the way that they did them, I don't think he would be that expensive. So I think, and we had a couple of questions to this extent, right? How big of an impact will Prime Q have on the meta scene? More 028 or 029 BQ at Worlds. Jay Solomon, why is Q Prime so overrated? Brandon Collette and where'd the other one? And then Joe Gutierrez asked those questions. So I think to answer Joe's question, you should see more 029B than 028. Just because he's 20 points cheaper. So I think the other thing to talk about would be the Q Prime trick. Did we talk about that with you, Jason?
Yes.
So
you told me, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the Q Prime trick is, and I don't know, maybe this is apparent to folks. So if this is apparent to you, then skip ahead a few minutes, I guess. But the Q Prime trick is free. Choose an opposing character that attacked Q or damaged a friendly character since your last turn. Place Q such that he was within 6 squares in line of fire of that character. Now, I think everybody kind of realized that he could poof over and call out Rusty, right? So Fast Forces Rusty has the poison, 9 attack, 2 damage. 9 attack, 2 damage, and then probability control, but only to target Rusty's attack roll without a 5. So, but if you talk about a Kobik Trader Unseen team, that's 2 perplexes on Rusty, and then there's 4 probability controls. Now, would I typically say a 9 attack is good? No. Would I say a 9 attack with 3 probs is good that can make you miss super senses? Yes. Depending on what your dice have loaded, you can also, make Rusty crit hit, and then he can activate his poison. I know that Jay killed a Star Fox that away, and he also killed my Unseen that away in our match. So it's certainly neat, right? And in that realm, you can call out 30-point Batman the Animated Series Joker. So, I mean, he's 10 for 3 with a prob.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Poison Ivy. So, I mean, there's a lot of perplex and that sort of thing to bump these folks up. And the Poison Ivy I don't think is quite as good. Or was it a Harley?
Which Poison Ivy are you talking?
Maybe I'm not. It's entirely possible I am not. I could just be making it up. It looks like I'm making it up. But I thought there was a Poison Ivy that was 30. Nope. Scratch that. Nope. Scratch that. I'm just joking. Kidding.
There is a 30-point Harley.
There is a 30-point a 20-point Harley, actually. Mm-hmm. But she has a 9 attack, 1 damage with only the Thrill Killer trait, so she's definitely not as good as Rusty or Joker. But that's your trick with Q, right? He kind of gets that colossal retail call out an ID situation, which is situationally useful. So it almost seems like to me it's Q Prime is one of those things where he can do good against the right team, but against the wrong team, he does nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't suck, but yeah, he's not just universally great.
Yeah, Jay said this on another post. He's not A++ OMG God tier Rata now, but he's just not good. He's just not fantastic, right? There's so many other things that compete with him in that 30-point range.
Yeah, you just need to be prepared for it.
Yeah, you got to be prepared for it. That's spot on. So, more to come. I definitely think the Prime's better than the regular Super Rare.
I say sell now, wise high.
Yeah, for sure. If you can get
there you go.
If you can get $250 plus for him, then go for it.
So I'm not going to Worlds, but one of my favorite parts of Gen Con, one day me and Dan slept in and stayed late, right? And I got out of the shower and I was like, man, I had this thought in the shower. I was like, and it probably immediately occurred to you, but humor me for a minute. And I was like, that Q Prime's going to be pretty much useless after Worlds whenever we have 2 Asgardian Storms for every team running around, right? He went, Dave, you're coming back. And I was like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
I learned so much over Gen Con. I'm like, wait, what's a Kobik? Wait, what's a trader? Wait, what's this thing do? So.
Yeah, I'm glad you're getting the bug again. If only we could get you to go to Worlds.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, we got a few more weeks to change your mind, so...
You could just drive down for a day.
Right. We'll see.
So, well, let's hop into our listener questions for the night. McConnell Lamar, what do you think the top 3 prize figures are from Regenesis? We did talk about this in our Regenesis set review, if you want to go back a couple episodes. If I remember correctly, Jason, it was the two month 1 LEs, right? And then the month 4 prize Cyclops? I think he has like a 12-4.
I think we decided the month 4 ones are just, I don't know.
The month 4, well, the
okay.
12 attack 4 damage Psyblast was good.
Was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think month 1 and then the month 4 Cyclops, or month 3 Cyclops, or whatever that one is.
Yeah, the caveman one. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, was one of y'all drawing a note or something?
No, I'm not.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm playing with something, man.
Yeah, stop that. You're making all the listeners do that. Listen to you do that.
Oh man.
So yeah, month 1 and then month 4 Cyclops, Caveman Cyclops. And this is pretty much strictly as ID card characters.
Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah, I mean obviously our favorite characters are different, but Richard Leo, how would you go about making a competitive Starfleet team using the original series and next gen figures? I don't know. I looked at this one and I looked at all the Starfleet figures. So I don't know. That's
It requires a little more thought, I think.
Well, it does, but I mean, I think if I had a core, I do have a suggestion on a core. There's not a lot of transporters, so like things like Chase Captain Kirk from the first set, I don't think you could build like something really cool there. But I think the must-haves would be like a Lieutenant Kyle, 2 Starfleet security officers, the rare Wesley, and I think you could go ahead and get by with playing Commander William Riker, even with his errata, and then sideline at least a few of the Thomas Rikers, and then you're probably looking at just filling out the team with Perplex and support to some extent, like literally the support power. So something like
the Nurse Agawa.
Yeah, the Nurse Agawa. Maybe there was something that
the Uhura from the original set that has like the 10 range Perplex is not bad. Mm-hmm. Can see through some stuff.
Yeah, and I think like Kirk and Uhura is a great inclusion there. So I mean, I think it's pretty much, if you want to play the name theme team, you have your William Riker. The Uhura was the super rare. No, she was the rare for 40 points that has the Perplex and could perplex through anything. And then she can also take the team ability. You may choose a copy of team ability that an opposing character can use, as long as Lieutenant Uhura is on the map. Adjacent friendly characters and friendly characters with the Starfleet keyword can use that team ability. So you could take over things like a Superman ally, or what else would be good to take over, like Batman.
Yeah.
But nobody's really starting with Batman right now. Underworld would actually be good from a henchman, so then all of your Starfleet dudes could carry each other.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
But that's dependent on also facing a Kobik Trader. So that could make your Captain Kirk team work, but only in times when you were facing a Kobik Trader. But there's things like, the Fast Forces Hulk. You can take the Avengers team ability and that kind of stuff. But so did Dave already leave? I think Dave's phone died on him.
Yeah, he said he was pretty low.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for being on, Dave.
Yeah, he should be back more regularly now.
Yeah, so we just got to get him timed right. So we're all on different schedules these days. So, Richard, I hope that was a good enough question. I appreciate you writing in. I think that's the first time you've asked a question of us. So, he's your...
yeah, I'll have to look at that more.
Yeah, he's a current Team World Champion, so pretty cool. Him and Joe and Devin. Devin, who we just had on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
So, Edward K., general consensus, how healthy is HeroClix right now? I think it's fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Really good spot.
Everybody gets to play the game except for OMAs, which is pretty healthy considering, there's comparatively speaking, right? There's no Faust, there's no OMA Goblin King and OMA Uni ruining the format. So everybody gets to play. You just got to play smart, play well. That's what I generally think is a pretty healthy format. There's tons of different viable teams. A lot of them are cosmic, but they all play differently. Your X-Men team is still viable. There's a couple of maybe scientist themed teams that are viable. Avengers is still viable. Unthemed, like Sheriff Strange, Mangog, Kobik, Vulture, Fast Forces Hulk, Hulk and Vulture together. All sorts of good things, I think, are still plenty viable. And then Edward K.
We have lots of exciting stuff coming too.
Yeah, X-Men stuff X-Men stuff is going to make that team even more viable again, I think.
Yeah, and then WWE in the fall. That's going to be bonkers.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that complete set review. Stone Cold looked amazing.
Yeah. And Asuka did too.
Yeah. You're not ready for Asuka. So, yeah, is the second part of his question is, where do you see the game in 5 years? I think it'll be fine as long as they keep innovating and doing different things. Like, they've done resources, they've done ID cards, they've done special objects. I think they could bring back resources, or keep ID cards going, keep Colossal Retail going. It looks like we're going to get more Colossal Retail in the new set, so
yeah, I think it'll be fine. Hopefully, it's moving up the sales chart.
Yeah, I hope so too, for sure. Kurt Thomas, what is the cheapest competitive team in the current meta that does not include any of Medusa, Vulture Prime, and/or Fast Forces Hulk? In other words, name a cheap team that does not include any of those figures, and feel free to mention any bargain price team that does. So first of all, Kurt, we thank you for being one of our patrons. So I think maybe the cheapest team, dollar-wise, to get into would probably be like Uni Unseen.
Yeah, I think so.
It's still pretty expensive. You're probably looking at, with the Eternals, if you don't play Star Fox, you're probably looking at about a $350 team. They're about maybe a bit more if you don't. That's including Gene and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the core of Uni and the not Star Fox Eternals is not that expensive.
Yeah, so I mean, Unseen in the Reality Gym, call that 30. Uni, Makari, Prime, Thanos, Cersei is probably about another 40. And then Groot's 50, Remaker's $10. So about up to 130. And a Flora's $50, like two. So $200 for the core.
Yeah.
And then another 150 if you want the good ID cards.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything less expensive at the moment.
I mean Vulture Prime. I mean we can't include.
Yeah.
I mean, but definitely Vulture and Fast Forces Hulk are probably the cheapest team in the format.
Medusa team could be fairly cheap too.
Yeah, Medusa would be fairly cheap, but I think it needs the more expensive ID cards.
Yeah.
I mean, because typically, like what Randy was playing with the Vulture Prime and Fast Forces Hulk, uses just a Groot. I mean, the Fast Forces was 20, so you're up to 70. Vulture Prime Arc Arms combos about another 30, so you're up to 100. And then he was just using Miss Marvel for 15, and then like uncommon and common perplexes. So Vulture Prime's probably about 120, and he was only playing like one or two ID cards. So yeah. I think that whole team was $200.
Yeah. What about like double Astronomer?
So double Astronomer
or the Trader teams.
Well, so those are pretty cheap, but it still requires like a Groot, Mangog, and like 2 Floras. So you're looking at reasonably $220 worth of Colossals.
Oh, like Nate wasn't playing like Mangog on his like double Astronomer team.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
I don't think.
I mean, to be fair, Nate didn't do that great with his version of the team.
Yeah, not that event he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's not disparaging to Nate, but like Canadian Nats, I don't know. Let's take a look at. I want to look at his Devin's specific build, real quick. Let's see if I can find it real quick.
But that team that like Dustin Cedars was playing with the Traders and the Gardeners, I don't think is. I don't know what kind of Colossus he may use. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it comes into play is that. So he was playing double. So Devin was playing 2 Traders, 1 with a Space Gem. So that's another 25 for Iron Man, and then the Time Gem came on a rare, so that's $10. Nightbringer ring is $30. So that's 50, and then the rares do add up with the Time Gem, so you're probably looking at another $30 worth of rares. So that puts us at about 60. Collector's 25, 85, 50 for Mangog. So I lost track of my points in my time there. 100 quarter, 175, 225 for Groot, 275 for Flora. Pim Pocket Tank technically is 50. So 3 1/4.
Yeah.
So it adds up quick.
It's right in there. Those other ones we talked about, though. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
But probably, I mean, it depends too, because if you have the full suite like in your box, Soul Gem 70. I don't think you need the Ego Gem, but I mean, if he had it in his box, that's $300. But yeah, probably I would say the Astronomer. I mean, probably your cheapest good team is $350 to $400. I just don't think like Medusa has the No, I take that back. Sorry. The cheapest good team is probably Vulture with Hulk for, what did I say, 2.25 or so?
250 maybe. Yeah.
2.25, 250. So I mean, I just don't think that like the Medusa Swarm has it in Modern because it doesn't cross the map fast enough. And especially with the Zero Ring becoming a thing, that can be a real downer for Medusas too, or at least slow their offense down quite a bit. So, I'm just trying to think of what else is cheap price-wise. I always, honestly just don't think about things that way. I mean, there are teams that can be played, but I just don't think they've been fully fleshed out, like Shades. But even so, like Jay was playing Shades with like Chase Starfox and Groots and Mangogs, right?
Right.
So, I mean, there's parts of a team that are cheap, but I mean, the rest of the team's still expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the one-man army teams would have been less expensive, but then they got run.
Yeah.
Kobik, so.
Yeah, which is fine. So, maybe, you know what? I think that you might be able to get by the cheapest with playing 250 point Black Panther. Yeah, because he's about 75. Now, and the only reason I think that he's viable, is that you can include the Infinity Cop version,
right? And
then the Infinity Cop can attack, and then the Pog dudes, the zombies, they can attack as well. Maybe not well, but if you face the Kobik Trader, you're not completely hosed.
Yeah, and you got some nice 40-point IDs coming for the cop to call out.
Yeah, so you can definitely play 2 40-point IDs and then a Venom Symbiote, or the Remaker ring is good on Black Panther. I think even the Nightbringer ring is good because then you can't trade him or outwit him. I'm sorry, you can outwit him with Unseen, but they also have to position really well because Black Panther can also turn to poison. I mean, and then if you're bringing over your Groot to attack Black Panther, it also puts him there for the cop to punch him. Yeah. So I think that's my final answer, Jason.
Yeah, I like that one.
A Cosmic Cop, you could probably get in for about 125.
Yeah. I played that team. I had fun with it.
Now, I'm not saying you're going to have a great day, but you should have an okay day. Just depending on how things go.
I think I got top 4th regional with that, right? So.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It was. And that was pre-retirement, right?
Yeah, it was pre-retirement.
So.
Yeah, if that was still Hawkeye, was still there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we talked through that because I do like that 250-point Panther still. Again, I don't think you have an easy day, but I think you can have an okay day. Harrison Fordyce wants to know George T. Stagg or Pappy.
I have no idea what we're talking about here.
That's fair. I have not had George T. Stagg. I have had Pappy before. So
is this a bourbon or something?
It is. So Harrison, it is. Okay. And so Harrison, next time we meet up, if you would like to bring me some George T. Stagg, I will happily partake. Because George T. Stagg is made by Buffalo Trace. It's supposed to be really good. but I don't think they have anything that's cheap. At least not the good stuff. Now, I've had Pappy once or twice, but not in a long time. So Harrison Fordyce also asked about TMT Odin Prime builds with the new ID options. Maybe even the 230 point option, Prez Rickard for token removal, call out Rachel Summers, then running shot, then OP Phoenix does something. Call out full Iceman, Magneto Storms, Banshee, Pulse Wave stuff. Yes, no Pond Water. I'm assuming Pond Water means negative.
Probably.
Yeah, and
something not good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the problem is that Prime Odin is big.
Mm-hmm.
So he can have his top dial cool stuff outwitted. And then shot past his colossal stamina.
Yeah, he can't hide anywhere, unfortunately.
He can't hide as well as, say, Panther can.
Panther.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, plus he only has impervious top dial. So, I mean, the big guy can just be side blasted for 6 too. 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And then he's pretty much toast. Yeah, I wish that guy was better, but he's not quite well suited with Kobik Trader running around.
Yeah, that too. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, sorry, Harrison, just not feeling it. So, Nick Haberman wants to know, this is a Mr. Chomps type question. Would you rather be tased for 10 seconds or never be able to use prop control again?
Ooh, that's tough.
I'd be tased.
Yeah, probably so.
Because if I can't use prop again, I'm just quitting HeroClix.
Yeah, prop's pretty important.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could just play Qs and you don't have to use prop. You could just replace that die.
That is true. I guess I'd play Qs then, Nick. Jeremy Stallings wants to know, what was the funniest thing you remember from Gencon, and how close were you to killing Jeremy?
I was really, really close to killing Jeremy. I'm not going to say why, but I was really close.
Oh, yeah, I know why. I remember now.
Yeah. Funniest thing? Probably things we shouldn't talk about on air.
Yeah.
It might have involved meth and hookers.
Yeah, stories we're not allowed to tell. And I guess I should clarify that's from one of the sordid past of somebody that's not on Team Clickstuff.
Yeah.
That is a story we heard in passing.
Yeah, and it was a good story.
It was a good story, but it does not involve any of your beloved podcast hosts.
Oh, I'm sorry, I said meth and hookers. I meant meth and strippers.
Right. I don't think that's any better, Jason.
It's slightly.
Yeah. At either rate, it still does not involve us, so it was fun. It was funny to hear, but well, let's wrap it up for tonight, Jason. Final thoughts.
Hope to see everybody at Worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope to see everybody at Worlds as well. Get those final rounds of practice in, and be sure to post up in our Facebook group if you got any questions. We'll be glad to help you out, or just send me a message. And I talk teams all the time, so
or send any of us a message. We're all happy to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. Tommy Lytle did say he was excited to hear Dave was playing, but Dave dropped off before he gets to hear that. So I guess he'll just have to read it on Facebook, which looks like he did. So
we'll have to remind Dave to charge his phone next time.
Yeah. It's okay. I remind Dave and Zach how to not fall apart while we were at Gencon. Like, did you remember to put on your pants, guys? Oh boy, just call me Daddy Dan.
I don't remember anybody not wearing pants, but okay.
Well, you left early one morning.
Oh, well, I guess I lucked out then.
Yeah. Alright, thanks everybody for listening to Clickstuff today, and we'll talk to y'all next time.
Later.